Hello. My This is an introduction to my project. It's called America's Kids Got Talent, and it's like a talent show registration system. So what I'm trying to show you here, I'm just going to move it into the area. There is this registration system, and it relies heavily on two tables. There's the user table and plus the items table. So users register into the site. So the unregistered users, they all they can view is just a list of all the items um, in the registration. So by default, I've created Jill and Jamal as the registered users, so they can register for an item on the site. There's also a third user, Jessica, who's an organizer for the event. So the users have roles like registered user or an organizer. So in this case, nobody has registered into logged into the site yet. So the two default users have two items that they've registered for. And to start with, an item is an incomplete status when people log in and register. So let me walk you through the login and registration process. I'm just going to log in as Jamal right now. So when Jamal logs in, he is also comes back to the home page, but he can also view all the items that he has, and notice the menu has changed. So he can create a new item or edit and delete the items that he has created. So there are four items in the front end, but if he can go edit an item that he already has. So notice now it's only the two items that he entered, which is showing up for him for editing and deleting. So if he wants to edit, say this first item, violet viola, so it's a string quartet, and he edits the item here, and the create item is also very similar. I'll walk you through that very quickly next. So the item names have to be a minimum of a certain character width. I think I said 5 characters. So if I make it really short, then and I try to update this, then it'll say the name must be at least 5 characters. So the validation is happening both here as well as in the at the front end, as well as in the back end, in the Laravel back end. So now I can go back and edit this item name. I can say string quartet with piano. So I'll just make a change here, and as soon as I make the update, now the name has changed. So he has made an update. So he can go back and he can continue editing and making changes here. Similarly, there's a URL audition clip also goes through a validation. So if I just delete this and type in something, so then I say update, it says the audition link format is invalid. So once again, he needs to uh, give a good URL, and you can add more information here. Mm, and the number of participants is a range, so you can only select a few participants. You can select only certain numbers here. So once he thinks he's done with all the edits, then he can submit it for approval by the organizers. So he updates the item. So now notice the item is no longer available for update or delete. So now he has to go in, and um, he can go, if I show all, then notice the status for his item is submitted. And if I try to I can create another item as Jamal. So let me say I've been trying with a few names. So my call it test item, and so I'll say music, and I'll say 3 participants, and URL to the audition clip. I have some YouTube audition clip, and description of the item. So I'll say vocal music and special notes about the performers. They're super. Okay, so and then I can right away submit entry for approval as well. So I just register. Then it says you create. Sorry, you created a new item and it's also been added for approval. So how do I know that? So I can go in here and notice Jamal has submitted. Yeah, he has created yet another item. Okay, so this Jamal New Horizons test item, and he's also submitted right away. So he didn't wait to edit it again. If you don't submit it for approval, it's considered incomplete. It stays incomplete. And now that I've submitted something as Jamal, now I'm going to log out and log in as Jill. So log in as Jill. Okay. They say login. So okay, I put in 3 L's for Jill, so that's why. Um, so Jill at Harvard.edu. So and now I logged in as Jill. So it shows me I've logged in as Jill, and if I look at all my items, so I can see all the items in the front end just like any regular user. But then if I try to edit any item, it's only the items that are registered to me that get shown as Jill. So say I'm Jill and I want to delete an item, so I just go in here and say select delete. Then it says, are you sure you want to delete the item title dance medley? And I can say no, I change my mind, I can come back and I can go in and edit delete items again. And I can say okay, so let me say I delete this item this time. Yeah, say yes. So it says item dance medley was deleted. So now you can see there are only 4 items in the front end. And okay, so so this has been submitted for approval. There are 2 items submitted and waiting approval. So so let me log out of Jill. Okay, so there's Jamal has submitted 2 items for approval. So I'm just going to log out now and log in as Jessica. So I'll say Jessica. So Jessica is the organizer of the event. So hopefully it'll just show up everything. Starts with J. Okay, so I log in as Jessica, and then so it shows me as logged in as Jessica, the organizer. So it knows about my role, and now the organizer cannot create new items. He or she can only review the items. So they shows review the items, and there are 2 items waiting to be accepted, waiting to be reviewed, accepted. So like if I say I accept something, say I accept the first item, page, and it says the item string quartet with piano was approved. And once it's approved, it just shows up in the front end as accepted. And once again, when I review the items, now there's just 1 item left, because once it's approved, it's considered official, and the person's supposed to perform that item. And then now there's another item here that's waiting for approval and rejection. Hopefully they don't reject too many items, but if for some reason, for some technicality, something is being rejected, then they could say maybe they didn't approve the audition link, so then they say reject. So reject, and the item has been rejected. So now notice it shows up in the front end. So these are the features of my app. So there's the items table and the users table, and the users have roles. So I've tried to put it together the best I can, and I learned a lot doing this. So So I understand that I may need one more table, so I'll continue to work on this. So if there is a change and I add one more table to the to this project, then I'll make a note in the readme.md. So thank you for watching.